In the magical city of Jerusalem, there once lived a very wealthy man who had many treasures and possessions. He had one son, a wise and clever young man who helped him manage his various businesses. One day, the son set out on a journey across the sea to a distant and mysterious land where he stayed for a long time and did not return home. Years passed, and the old father, feeling his end was near, called his loyal servant Cosby and said, "I feel my time is coming, and my son has not yet returned from his travels. Please take care of my possessions until his return." Cosby agreed and asked the rich man to order all the household and servants to listen to him, as he had been chosen to take the master's place until the son returned. The rich man agreed, and a few days later he passed away, and all the wealth was passed into Cosby's hands. The servant, once loyal, changed after receiving the wealth and status. He became greedy and began to trouble the household until they could not bear it any longer and left. Cosby, the ungrateful one, remained alone in the house, acting like the master. Many months later, the only son returned home. When he saw the rude servant who had taken over the house, he was shocked. His father was gone, his family members were missing, and the servant shouted at him, commanding him to leave. "Don't you recognize me? I am the son of your master, and you are the servant," cried the son. But Cosby pretended not to know him and said, "Who are you? Where did you come from? How dare you lie? I am the son of the deceased master, and now you must leave immediately." He started hitting the son, who fled, crying, and hurried to the palace of King David, the father of King Shlomo, who was then a young boy. The sad son told King David everything that had happened. King David called for Cosby and asked why he had expelled the son of the rich man. The wicked Cosby answered, "I am the son of the rich man. This person is a stranger and is lying to take my money." "That's not true," shouted the son. "I am the true son, and he is the servant who stole our wealth through trickery." King David, with his great wisdom, listened carefully to the claims of both the son and Cosby. After hearing their words, he ruled that each of them must bring witnesses to support their story. Two of them left the palace in search of witnesses. Cosby, the cunning servant, turned to his wicked servants, who agreed to testify in his favor. Together, they schemed to deceive the king and take control of the wealth. On the other hand, the son, who was innocent and pure-hearted, faced a great challenge. Since he had left home at a young age and was now a naive young man, he could not find any witnesses. People feared the wicked Cosby and did not dare to testify in favor of the son, afraid of his revenge. The miserable son, feeling the weight of loneliness and despair, wondered how he could prove his innocence and reclaim his lost inheritance. The son returned to King David's palace, his face downcast, and sadly told him that he had not been able to find any witnesses to support his claim. The king, unsure how to judge the case, asked him to return the next day. At that time, Schlommo, David's wise and clever young son, who was full of insight, overheard the conversation and asked his father, "Father, please allow me to judge this case." David, recognizing his son's wisdom, replied, "Let us hear your opinion, my son, and may God be with you." Cosby and the rich man's son stood before Schlommo, and he said, "Each of you claims to be the son of the rich man. To discover the truth, I will ask you to complete a task. Go to the grave of the old man. Take one of his bones and break it in half. Bring the broken bone to me, and I will know who is the true son and who is the servant. The task Schlommo gave was a test of wisdom and emotion, designed to reveal the true identity of the son. Cosby and the son, full of excitement and anticipation, left the king's palace toward the grave of the deceased man. Schlommo, with his great wisdom, sent trusted messengers to secretly follow them, hoping to reveal the hidden truth. The son, with a trembling voice, turned to Cosby and said, "Not only did you steal my father's wealth and drive me out of my home, now you want to desecrate his honor and break his bones?" Cosby's face was full of rage, and he said nothing. He angrily went to the grave, opened it, took a bone, broke it in half, and hurried back to the king's palace. Shortly afterward, the two stood before Schlommo. Cosby held the broken bone, while the son stood empty-handed. Schlommo turned to the son and asked, "Where is your bone?" The son replied, "I did not bring anything. I would rather be poor than desecrate my father's honor." When Schlommo heard this, he immediately understood that this was the true son. To prove it to everyone, he called for an expert in bloodletting and asked him to draw a little blood from Cosby and dip the broken bone in it. The bone remained white, as if it had not been dipped in blood. Schlommo, with his great wisdom, asked for the bone to be dipped in the son's blood. To everyone's surprise, the bone immediately turned red. Then Schlommo turned to the witnesses and said, "Now you have all seen who is the master and who is the servant." The bone clung to the son's blood. Cosby, embarrassed and ashamed, left King David's palace. The true son, with his generosity, promised to give him fruits from his garden, wealth, and money on the condition that he find the family members he had driven away. After Cosby fulfilled his promise, the son banished him to another city. The son received what was rightfully his, and the wisdom of Schlommo, the young prince, became famous throughout the land.